very confused. He must have been newly deceased. He looked around and saw everyone kneeling down on the ground, and he nervously knelt and put his tray of food on the ground. I can still see the image in my mind. It was very sad to see this happening. I felt such sadness for these people, but was also the most shocked and scared I have ever been, and immediately ran downstairs into another area. Question: for more than 20 years I followed a doctrine called Spiritism, which is very popular here in Brazil, which guides people to repair past life mistakes through reincarnation. What you say confirms the fact that these demons spread this lie everywhere so that people become docile to their orientations, that is, they become docile slaves. But, if in fact there is no paradise and no justification for the afflictions that people lived in this world, was Jesus then a liar or even a person who never even existed? Answer: that spiritualism is very dangerous and was made popular by Chico Xavier. He was a good person who got completely scammed, and his resulting writings have done incredible damage to humanity. His books were made into the movie Nosso Lar, or Astral City, A Spiritual Journey. This has caused an enormous amount of humans to step backwards and actually condition themselves and others to accept slavery. Jesus never existed. The Bible is a mind control tool that has subjugated humanity. Comic books have more value than the Bible. Although absurd, at least they promote superhuman abilities and going against evil forces. Question: I've heard theories that the tunnel of light is a trap. On the other hand, I've heard that the tunnel is just a representation to make transition easier, that we will inevitably have to meet our guides and discuss our next step in soul evolution, until we graduate this density. And maybe after that we will be the ones playing guide. I've heard the journey never ends, and maybe our soul will become a planet, then a solar system, then cluster, then a galaxy, universe, etc. Until we merge with the infinity. Answer: the tunnel is an Archon creation. It is a trap used to capture those who have died. The soul of the dying person is scanned, and then fake images of lost loved ones are projected into the tunnel to coerce the targeted human to enter. There are no guides. That is 100% bullshit. There is no soul evolution. That also is 100% bullshit. No one graduates. The death, memory erase, reincarnation process goes on and on. The galaxy and universe you inhabit is a computer-driven simulation. What you know as deep space is only projected by the matrix when observed by a conscious being. New Age propaganda has done and continues to do enormous damage on humanity. The saddest part is that very good spiritual people are its worst victims. These humans are seen as prime suckers by the Archon hierarchy. These humans then go into agreement of brutally cruel and sadistic soul contracts, and think it is giving them soul growth. The only thing these ridiculous and embarrassing soul contracts do is create the perfect slave for louche energy production that is harvested by evil psychotic archons and the satanic demiurge. Hell is the lower astral. I have been there, and you may have also. It is the land of nightmares. When someone has a brutally horrific nightmare, it is likely they drifted into that realm. I have gone there through astral projection, and it was horrible. Deceased murderers, molesters, psychopaths, and the extremely violent choose to go there. They are attracted to it. There is also a higher astral. It looks like the heaven humans are taught. It has incredible colors and beautiful landscapes. No one resides there. It is used for programming purposes only. The extremely clean, living, deeply religious human, as well the people who are having the near-death experience, are brought to the higher astral for advertising. Some are even shown ridiculous images of God on his throne. They are shown around and given a taste of its splendors. They are then told they are not yet worthy to stay in the kingdom of heaven. The person in the NDE is told to go back. This programmed person returns to their body and later spews out endless advertising for religious beliefs and coerces people to enter the white light trap. The deceased human who was shown this ridiculous con job is then completely fixated on reincarnation and returning to the Earth School. What a joke. It is beyond absurd that humans are stupid enough to fall for this scam. Most people are very good people who have tried hard to survive in this world. You think about how hard humans have worked to help each other. All of this hard work is not rewarded. After death, the human is still enslaved. There is no rest. The Archons and the Demiurge want everything. To get this, they created the reincarnation scam. The self-declared God of this world is pure evil. It has used all of us. Humans have fought and died in wars for nothing. All of the suffering in this world is feasted upon by psychotic archons and the satanic demiurge. Good people work hard their whole lives. They deserve pure happiness after physical death. Instead, they get a martial law afterlife and eventually get forced to reincarnate. It is not enough for the demiurge to cause suffering worldwide. This crazed parasite won't even let deceased humans rest after death. It actually forced people to reincarnate again and again. The time has come to end this madness. Question: when the person's memories are erased, are they lost forever or are they somewhere in the unconscious, subconscious? Answer: the images and memories still exist within the deep subconscious. Sometimes pieces of these memories leak into the dream state and the conscious mind. The archons are wiping the conscious mind and have basically perfected the process through practice on millions of human victims. They cannot wipe the subconscious, but really do not need to, because the majority of humans are mostly disconnected from the subconscious and completely fixated on the projected reality they see out there. Memory erase is the key to the enslavement of humanity. If people have complete access to the memory of the pre-reincarnation period, they would rebel and end this madness. This is why the archons had to create the whole karmic debt and Earth School scams. This enabled them to get their victims to agree to memory erase in belief that it was essential for their soul growth. This brutally psychotic scam has been unchallenged for a long time. New Age programming has taken over for religious-based mind control in molding and solidifying the perfect victims who in their ignorance actually praise and kneel to their oppressors. The archons are known for telling some of their victims, "It is your choice," in the early stages of the afterlife period. Humans are then under the assumption they are not forced. This is followed by constant long-term programming to break down the targeted human and to destroy any resistance and self-determination. The deceased human is relentlessly told they made mistakes, to the point the human is so beaten down that they view themselves as unworthy. The targeted human has been prepped for the soul contract scam. Almost all humans are fully broken and mind-controlled at that point. They are manipulated to the point of thinking that reincarnation can save them. There are exceptions and some will not give in. The archons force these people into the memory erase horror and reinsert them into slavery. The whole choice thing is another one of their scams to keep the slaves in line and avoid dissent. We are all inside of a huge, incredibly advanced virtual reality. This universe is a simulation. Most of ancient history never happened. It is an ancestral simulation. Gods and saviors are literally myths. The Bible is the equivalent of a comic book. Unfortunately, people have based their existence upon fiction. My true origins are the same as everyone else trapped in this simulated hellhole. We are all originally from the real free universe. There are no opportunities. Humans are used as slaves. There is nothing to gain. This entire simulation is a free-range slave pen used to create low vibrational energy which is consumed by satanic parasites who pose as higher beings. Reincarnation is the absolute worst thing anyone can do. Its purpose is to continue enslavement. There is no live and learn. That is an archon scam that has been used to brutalize humanity. Thinking that some being created you promotes subservience and enslavement. The targeted human is being conditioned to accept the usage of multiple lives. This person is being used for loosh production in the dream state and being set up for the acceptance of reincarnation. There is nothing to overcome. This is the same life lessons bullshit that enslaved humanity. In this scenario, it has been shrewdly played by the archons. They instill a sense of bravado the target foolishly gets pumped up onto, to face a challenge. How absurd. Cameron Day has talked about very similar experiences. He was targeted by the archons at a young age and got fed the same lame script. He was sent on numerous quests and missions to overcome doubts and fear that held him back in previous lives. The archons are incredibly skilled at manipulation. It is their specialty. They regularly approach with this ridiculous scam and it usually works fantastic for them. They deeply program and mind control a human and also harvest dense low vibrational energy in the process. Question: in my dreams, I am gaining supernatural abilities. I am tying this with astral traveling. What are your thoughts? Answer: what you are experiencing is quite fantastic. You are actually using the dream realm for significant worthwhile training. I know exactly what you are doing, as I do the same. Using the dream realm to develop these abilities is a huge advantage. If you can eventually get yourself into the afterlife, you will be a force to be reckoned with. These abilities are illegal in the afterlife and are what the Archons fear most. If developed and utilized by a resistance force, these abilities can overthrow the Archons. I call the deceased humans who work for the Archons sellout thugs. When they are certain someone is a living astral traveler, these thugs panic. They are told very clearly that the living are never to be allowed to speak with the deceased. There are endless amounts of these thugs. It is the biggest source of employment in the afterlife. They will try to assault and capture the living traveler. One of them shot me in the arm with an advanced energy weapon. The pain was excruciating, and I still felt in moments later upon returning to the physical. It is fascinating you are using your mental power to persuade beings in the dream realm. This is a real ability. The previously mentioned astral thugs have often tried to hit me with billy clubs, bats and metal pipes. Using what I call the Jedi mind trick, I have made them hit themselves on numerous occasions. It is somewhat similar to telekinesis, but you use intent to make it happen. I find the pineal gland area between the eyebrows flexes like a muscle when doing this. In this physical world, I am a kind and caring gentleman. I seek true peace for all beings. In the astral afterlife, rough confrontation is absolutely necessary. Telekinesis is my primary form of defense, and it is incredibly powerful but must be regularly developed like a muscle. I have thrown huge objects there with telekinesis. The deceased barely know it even exists, because it is considered illegal and is seriously punished. Therefore it is rarely, if ever, seen by the deceased. I did meet one deceased guy who was very skilled at telekinesis. He told me he trained himself when he was alive by playing Star Wars, The Force Unleashed, and Force Unleashed 2 video games. If done on a large television, the mind considers it so lifelike it becomes similar to real telekinesis training. Flying can be more difficult. Consider it a huge achievement if you can do this with ease. Floating is very similar and much easier. I have floated up about 20 feet off the ground to escape sellout thugs on many occasions. Most of the very famous experts in astral travel and the institutes are now under the control of the three-letter agency. They are no longer mentioning Archons. One of them, who is very famous and previously talked about Archons and the control system, has started heavily promoting the fun afterlife and reincarnation and Earth School scams. As this type of truth begins to be found by the public, you will see more control and disinfo coming from previously trusted sources. The satanic global elite do the bidding of their Archon masters. The Archons demand shutting down the human awakening. The reptilians are unfortunately very real. I have seen them up close twice. They are the enforcers, who are the muscle within the Archon hierarchy. They are horribly violent and psychotic. Reptilians completely despise humans. Question: in a video they talked about 24 layers of the astral. Are there really that many? How are they different? Answer: I have only heard about and seen 3 layers. The lower astral is the land of nightmares, and is populated by deceased humans who resonate with violence and psychotic behavior. The middle astral is the afterlife. It looks the same as our physical dimension with houses and buildings. The upper astral is the fake kingdom of heaven. It looks beautiful and is used to con the deeply religious and extremely clean living. It is almost always shown to people having the near-death experience. The targeted human is always told they are not yet worthy to stay in the kingdom of heaven. This is total bullshit. It is a complete Archon scam. Comment: souls are getting shock treatment. The result of these massive electrical shocks is complete memory wipe. Answer: this was a very big topic recently on the Reddit astral projection sub. Numerous people saw this brutal horror being done during astral travel. These people were individuals and had traveled into the astral afterlife on separate occasions. Each one of these astral